Welcome to Formosa Dream Chasers
We're your hosts, Mary Ann.
and Ching-en.
Please join us as we explore the journeys amazing people take in pursuit of their dreams.
And get insights from their experiences
Let's hit the road.
and get started. Thanks for joining our program today. We have with us Michelle Capistrano, or Mika, and she is Marianne's friend visiting from Singapore. Okay, so we have some background about Mika from Marianne.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. To give some background, Mika and I were friends during our university years, and after graduation, we went our separate ways since I came to Taiwan and she later went to Singapore. Today we're going to talk about her journey and her dream of pursuing a better life for herself. So let's start with really basic information. So what's your job? Hey, wait, before we start, Mika, want to say hi to our listeners?
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's a privilege to be here because at least I get to share my story and probably help someone with their journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's a tough decision to leave the Philippines and venture abroad on your own, especially if you don't have any support from your family and you don't have friends overseas. So it takes a lot of courage to do that. But I hope my story will inspire someone so they won't feel so scared. Yeah, to venture out.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yeah, and have some success.
Okay, so let's start with maybe what's your current job right now? What do you do?
Right now I'm doing medical sales for a medical consumables company. So the company I work for has visibility business-wise in Malaysia and Singapore. And they're trying to grow and expand within Asia, but maybe they may look into a 5-year timeline to get that done because it's not very easy to expand into different markets. Yeah, but right now we're doing very well in Singapore and we're really growing very fast in Malaysia because of the products that we have right now. They're very, very promising. So I just hope that with me around and with the support of my managers, we will be able to expand the business successfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we were to backtrack a little bit on what we were talking about, would it be correct for me to say that you left the Philippines because you dreamed of a better future for you?
Course.
Right. What made you feel that the Philippines did not offer the same opportunities that you have now in Singapore? And like, why did you leave?
Yeah. I think the main thing that really drew me to go overseas is, well, I'll be honest, it's also the pay because you're doing the same thing in the Philippines, but you're getting better pay. Second is when you're abroad, it opens your mind to so many things, so many different mindsets, and so many ways of doing things that may not be available in the Philippines, because in the Philippines, of course, the way people become successful there is also because of their mindset and how they were brought up. But if you're exposed to different cultures, different ways of thinking, you'd realize that, oh, there's another way, to get where you want to go. People abroad have a different work ethic also, and they also have different ways on how to become efficient with their job. Since you have so many options to use to become successful, you realize that there are a lot of pathways that you can do, and it depends on what your preference is, that you can actually create shortcuts for yourself and at the same time enjoy the journey because it becomes an adventure. Yeah. Because every day is going to be very different.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so how long have you been living in Singapore?
I've been in Singapore since November of 2007. So I've
Wow,
been there-
that's a long time.
Yeah, so I've been there for almost 16 years.
Oh, 16
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, the first year I was so homesick. Yeah, I had to buy, because back then there were no mobile phones,
Yeah.
like the way we have data right now to communicate.
Yeah, we have
and we don't
internet.
have to pay for IDD. But back then I had to get a cell phone, get some prepaid cards, and then pay maybe $10 almost every day just to talk to my mom for a few minutes because I was so homesick.
Wow, so you talk to your mother every day?
Yeah, every day for a year. And then she said, if you're really that homesick and you really want to go back to the Philippines, why aren't you going back? And then I realized, because why am I there in the first place? Why am I in Singapore in the first place? I think that had more weight than me going back. I think that at that time I knew that I had a better future if I were to stick around in Singapore because of what Singapore could offer me in my career. Yeah. So
So to put it simply, it's more like your goals of wanting a better future was the reason why you were able to stick it out
Correct.
despite the homesickness. Because obviously, when you go to a new country, you don't
Yeah.
really have the support system. Okay.
And I realized also that's normal for you to feel that way. But it's just a different version for everyone.
But-
Some may have it much longer and more
Sure.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mine. But some it's just not
how,
so much.
How did you overcome those, negative emotions?
Emotions, just focusing on what's important to me, because at the end of the day you want something better for yourself and something better for your family, and you want to make your folks proud of you also. So it's not the easy things in life that make so much difference in how you grow as a person. It's the difficult things. So if you're able to overcome those challenges, you realize that it's like sharpening the saw,
Yeah.
like you have to go through that process to be a better human,
To be more like
to be more
resilient.
yeah, to be more resilient. Yes, I think if you makes you feel so good when you're able to overcome challenges like that.
Yeah.
And you can give yourself a huge pat in the back.
Yeah, Michelle was telling me that watching horror movies
Yeah.
can train your
Your brain.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be more resilient to like life traumas.
Yeah, correct. There's a study that I came across, observed why people who like watching horror movies have a better tendency to handle trauma. Yeah, because their brain is wired differently.
Okay.
So it's I think it's the structure of their physical brain, how they handle
Okay.
stress and trauma. So I want to train my brain
To be able to handle
that.
stress.
Yeah. So as I grow older, even if maybe I may be physically more frail than younger
Right.
people, I get to become more resilient on a mental level and emotional level.
So speaking of resilience, because when you go to a different country, like what you mentioned, you're feeling homesick, aside from, let's say, calling your mom on a regular basis, what were your, shall we say, hacks that
Working out.
you did, right, to cope with, because it's loneliness actually
Yes.
is a big factor. And
Correct.
you went to Singapore, it's not like you had a support system already. You had to develop that
Yeah,
over
you have to
time.
build your network.
Right.
Of
So
friends.
what were your hacks to or
to handle that.
to handle the
The loneliness.
different it's
the
not
challenges.
yes please.
Okay. I realized that working out helps me a lot. Yeah, and then doing some self-care activities like maybe getting a massage, hanging out with friends, But if I were to rank my life hacks,
Sure.
yeah, I would say that working out is probably the number one for me. Yeah, because for some reason whenever I do work out, it allows my mind to focus on my whys, because it's the most quiet my mind can be when I focus on my workout. And then because when you work out you tend to breathe more or better, so it sort of like quiets your mind and lets you focus on the important things, and at the same time it nourishes your body. And I think also after you work out you also get a surge of feel good hormones, so it makes you more equipped to handle those types of challenges when you're overseas. Yeah, and then building a network of friends also helps to handle the loneliness.
Yeah, I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
and you have to
build-
pick your
to-
friends very well also.
Yes.
Because of, I mean, the type of friends you hang out with could determine how good you are gonna be in the place where you're in. Yeah.
It's good to have friends.
Yeah, it is very good to have friends. To have very good friends. You don't have to have a
Yeah,
lot.
so you can share your thoughts,
Yes.
your emotions with that.
You have ways to vent also.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the venting part is very important.
So I'm wondering these questions. Do your families or parents support your decision to work abroad at the beginning?
In the beginning, my mom was a bit resistant because I was very sickly growing up. So she knew how easy it is for me to fall sick because I have asthma.
Yeah.
But after I figured out a way to manage my chronic condition, that's when I felt more brave to go abroad and figure out a way to make a name for myself, quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so or at least have some form of success. Yeah, in success by my definition. So it, but when she realized that I can actually handle myself more, which took about 2 years from the time I told her that I wanted to go abroad, that's when she said, "Okay, I think you can handle it."
So
yeah,
you-
physically, but the emotional part took a while for me. That's why I had to I was homesick for a while. Yeah.
How long would you say it took before you got over being homesick? Like how long?
A year.
A year.
A year.
Okay.
Yeah. Then slowly I realized I didn't have to call her so much. Yeah. And then maybe that's when that's also the time when I started having good friends. Met really nice people there. Yeah. Who
I
helped
see.
me. Yeah.
So, like we were talking about your journey going to Singapore, living there, working there. What surprised you the most about this journey of moving away from family and working abroad?
That's a very good question.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think what surprised me the most,
Like,
I think it's
Yeah.
how I could handle the stress
Okay.
of being alone and just figuring things out, because I not only had to make myself healthy enough to stay overseas, but also like be able to handle all the financial stress.
right.
Yeah, the stress at work, Yeah, so I think it's more like being more self-aware. Oh, and like realizing that I can actually do this, and I can do it probably for my entire years of productivity as an adult. Yeah.
Hey guys, we couldn't fit the entire interview in one show, so please tune in to part 2 of our interview.
We continue our chat with Michelle, where she shares the most important lessons she learned.
And tips she has for others who also have plans of leaving their home countries for study or work.
Again, this is Ching'en.
And Mary Ann. See you
you
guys
guys
next
next
Sunday.
Sunday.
Bye.
Did you enjoy our program? Or do you have any questions or feedback on what you just heard? Email us at rti@rti.org.tw. That's rti@rti.org.tw. And we will respond to all of your comments. We look forward to hearing from you.
Do you sometimes prefer to watch the news instead of read about it? Check out the RTI English YouTube channel, where we post daily videos that cover everything from politics to cultural events and other breaking news. Feel free to share your feedback and thoughts in the video comments or write to us at our email, english@rti.org.tw.
Hey, it's Michelle, your host of Geek Out, where you can listen in on people's passions in Taiwan and around the world every Thursday. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? Geek Out guests get up close and personal on topics from Dungeons & Dragons to mental health awareness to herpetology, and so much more. Thanks for listening to Radio Taiwan International. Check out Geek Out and a plethora of other awesome shows on the website at en.rti.org.tw. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you there!